As the conflict in Somalia intensifies, so the horror continues for Somalia's displaced and refugees. ZAHRA AHMED fled Mogadishu just days ago. She had lived in the city all her life before deciding to leave after her 10-year-old son was hit by a bullet that left him half paralyzed. ZAHRA is now stranded in Doble town on the Kenya-Somalia border with the rest of her extended family.
We have no money to continue our journey to the Kenya refugee camps. A friend kindly gave us this shelter that we are sharing. We were forced to flee not by the conflict, but the lack of hope for peace in our country.
Doble town is the last stop for Somalia's displaced before they cross the Kenya border and are given refugee status. Under the tight grip of one of the main Islamist opposition groups, Hizbul Islam, Doble is relatively safe, and once in it, the displaced can finally relax. There are now thousands of refugees stranded in this town alone. With hardly any aid agencies remaining here to assist the stranded, the United Nations laments their plight.
We have more than 1 million Somalis displaced inside Somalia, probably in the worst possible situations. I think that even if for Somali refugees the humanitarian situation is terrible, it's even much worse for those displaced inside the borders of the country.
I am on the Kenya-Somalia border, which is officially closed, and despite a heavy presence of security personnel on the Kenyan side, the 1,000-kilometer long border remains porous, and refugees can cross with ease. And this is where those lucky enough to reach this far end up. The overcrowded and chronically underfunded refugee camps in Dadaab, northern Kenya. Initially established to cater for up to 90,000, the camps now shelter 300,000 refugees, making them one of the world's largest single gathering of refugees. To try and ease the overcrowding, aid workers are relocating some of the refugees to a less congested camp further to the west. It is a move that is far from voluntary.
We have no choice. This is what our lives have been reduced to. Constant movement in a country that we know nothing about. We are just running around with our dear lives.
There is little optimism among the refugees that conditions will improve even at their new location. Their flight from the horror and violence back home continues to push them deeper into hopelessness. Mohammed Adow, Al Jazeera, on the Kenya-Somalia border.